we look back in faith to that same Messiah that the Old Testament believers looked forward to. They were saved on credit. We're saved now because of the abundance of God's mercy. And what this does is allow Jesus to make a cosmic exchange with us. Here's what Jesus did. Brother Clyde, Jesus took all your sins off of you upon himself and took them with him to Calvary and paid for them. And simultaneously as he took all your sins off of you, he gave all of his righteousness to you. And he's taking your sins to Calvary to suffer your penalty, hell, and he's giving you his righteousness to take you into the presence of God, heaven. That's a cosmic exchange right there. That's a good exchange, isn't it? That's really what justification is all about. God taking your sins, giving you his righteousness. He takes them to hell on the cross and pays for them. He's abandoned of God on the cross, and he lets you carry his righteousness, the righteousness of God, an impossible righteousness that he freely gives you in this cosmic exchange. Now, Clyde, in the sight of God, you are how holy? As him. As holy as God. He's got the righteousness of God. He's as infinitely holy as God. Clyde, on earth, do you behave as infinitely holy as God? No. That's irrelevant. His record in heaven says perfectly white, perfectly clean. The fact that he doesn't live up to that is irrelevant. It's as irrelevant as this. When Jesus died for sins on the cross, how many sins was Jesus committing? None. None. He committed 0 sins, but he's taking our full penalty. He's being made sin for us. Clyde may commit a bunch of sins, but he's being made the righteousness of Christ. And so it's a righteousness that God gives us in the records of heaven. Your behavior down here does not impair it. Although, because of the Spirit that he has placed in you, there is, and Paul's going to get to this in chapter 6, but here's a preview. You have an urge to live for him that you never had before. You have a desire to live for him. Listen to this. It is impossible for a genuinely born-again Christian to be okay committing something he believes to be wrong. It is impossible for a genuinely born-again Christian to be okay with committing something he believes to be wrong. He can commit something he believes to be wrong, but how's he going to feel about it? Very grieved, right? He's not going to be okay with it. He can commit something that he doesn't believe is wrong, but it actually is. But when he eventually keeps reading his Bible and discovers, oh wow, I've been wrong doing that all this time, guess what's immediately going to happen? If he tries to do it again, he's going to be convicted about it. So it is impossible for a genuinely born-again Christian to be okay with committing things that he believes is wrong.